Hi, Zeus here. Today I had a great start to season 28 of Warships, and I wanted to show you my combat techniques and my tech tree and how I got to number 251 on the US leaderboard. So at the beginning of season 28, it's 3-engine combat, at least for people that ended the last season in the gold tier. And if you have a good base design like I do, if you can beat your opponents in at least 3 minutes and 5 seconds or more remaining, you're going to win with all likelihood. Here I'm going after Crooked Teeth, and it took him down in 3 minutes and 15 seconds. You'll notice that I'm using a mix of heavies and Zookas, and I've broken my landing craft down into 3 different groups to go after the different engines. Now this base is a little bit different. He's got 2 engines on the left and none really in the back. So I threw down 2 of my groups on the left and only 1 group on the right. And as soon as the 2 engines go down, I flare to the last engine and put a shock down so that my troops can take that engine down with a rush. This one I lost by a second. This one I won. He ended up retreating because he knew that he had lost, but it was a pretty quick time. It was 3 minutes and 6 seconds. This one's more typical. I land 2 different boats on the right going after the 2 different engines, and the way the troops go, they split nicely into the 2 different groups, and I throw Kavan down on a delayed basis on the back engine group that's going to the back engine, because I'm going to need more troops to get there quickly, and whatever troops die get respawned in the group that's going after that engine. So here's a tie, 3 minutes and 9 seconds. This guy did a very good job against my base, and it was a little bit tougher too because he had rocket launchers, although I have to say rocket launchers are only effective against Zookas and completely ineffective against the heavies. So here I had a bad break on how my troops went, and I threw my Kavan down too early, made a bunch of mistakes, but I still pulled off a draw, which was a pretty good result. This one I beat a Chinese guy who has tears in his name as part of his name in 3 minutes and 13 seconds remaining. And this is pretty typical combat technique here, though he was a little bit different than he had a lot of defenses in the back, and I had to spawn a lot of troops from Kavan and then flare everybody to the back to take it down. You know, I see often a big mistake that people don't flare at the end, and you know the way it goes with heavies and machine guns, you really can flare to the back, and it's all good. You're not going to lose your Zookas, which is really what's giving the punch. All right, well, here's my tech tree. I've got the gunboat on level 2 and the flare on level 4, and the sniper tower on level 4. I've not opened that extra defenses or the rifleman, which might be helpful with Kavan, or the boom mine. I have opened the 3rd engine, did not open the tank, have not opened the boom mine or the rocket launcher. So after the 3rd engine of maxed out Zooka, building health, which is critically important, I've got shock bomb on level 1. I've not opened the critter cannon. They're very slow. Not opened the mortar. I've got Kavan on level 4, which is good enough to get level 6 of second wind, and I've not opened the flamethrower. The laser tank is going to be pretty useless in warships, I think. And the health pack could be very useful, especially making sure the Zookas don't die on mines. The troop health will be really very helpful. Potentially the special defensive weapon, which usually a shock blaster is the best choice there. Anyway, as you progress into higher engines, you'll see you've got barrage and incinerator and critters, some more building damage and troop damage, special defense there, bomb, and then onto air war with rocket choppas and heavy choppas. Anyway, let's get back into combat. I'm going to try to push higher and win my level 14 boss battle. So this guy's got a really well-designed base. It forces you to take out the first two engines on the bottom before you can even try to go after the third engine on the top, because he's got all those defenses going from the bottom engine going upward, and your troops are just going to drift down, and you won't be able to direct any troops at the third engine. So it's well designed. I'm going to get a slow time on this. I put down my two larger groups on the left to try to take down the defenses there and the two engines on the bottom. And meanwhile, all I'm really trying to do is just have some troops up at the top so that when I flare to the top, they're relatively nearby. And I'm throwing in my Kavan on a very delayed basis so that I've got even more troops up at the top when I throw the flare, like there. And by doing that, I've got troops closer to that third engine. And oof, he's already beat me. But 3, 6, 5, so 3 minutes and 5 seconds. Pretty good on that base. It's a well-designed base. Krasavidis. Awesome. Okay, so he did not do as well on my base, and I won the level 14 boss battle. Super cool. All right, collect the chest, and let's see where I am on the US leaderboard. I'm now number 274. Cool. So let's see how Krasavidis did against my base, and I'll explain to you my base design. So again, I've got that same group of defenses going from the lower engine upward and to the right that really screen and protect you from your opponent sending in troops on the right and going directly at the engine at the top. So he's doing a pretty good job going after my base here. He took down the two engines and then flared to the last one. And that's pretty much all you can do. But again, by the time you get there with troops from the bottom, he's at 3 minutes and 1 second remaining. So after a few more battles, I got up to 251 on the US leaderboard. And I want to show you some of that combat at level 14. So here's one opponent I beat in 3 minutes and 10 seconds. And again, I threw one group on the left and then the two groups from the upper right, and hoping here for a good split, which I get, which is cool. And then I'm going to basically prevent my troops from getting blown up by, my Zookas from getting blown up by mortars. That's pretty much the key thing, and then flaring to the last engine. So that worked out pretty well. And then this other one was a little bit slower. This guy had a really wicked design with boom mines and mines, and it did slow me down a bit. And unfortunately, I had a kamikaze Kavan. I don't know, maybe I put the Kavan in too early or not, but it looked like he was getting drawn to the troops on the far left, and he just rushed on in there, which if you're not careful, Kavan can do. But it did manage to pull it off, and that worked out really well. And please do check out some of the other excellent videos we've got on Boom Beach on our channel. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please subscribe to the channel and give this video a like, and thanks as always to Hercules for help with the video editing.